Hi, this is James. This is my submission for Build Inside the Box. I have created a ball on the beam project, which is a traditional project for putting a ball on a beam and doing a control loop to position it accordingly. So you've got a distance sensor here, you've got an actuator here, and you can control where it is. So for this project, I had some specific components to use. I had the Arduino MKR0, that's here, that's the main control board for everything. The next component that I had to use was the battery pack. So I've got this here. I was actually able to pull 2.5 amps from this, which is good to control a stepper motor. I've got Wago terminal blocks, which actually came in useful because I had problems with the original microphone I was using and I had to switch to a different one. The next is the op amp, which I've got right here, that converts a signal from a photo interrupter, which is down here, and also the microphone input into a digital input into the Arduino. I've got a screen here which will read everything out. I've got a temperature sensor here, which the original plan for this was not only the ball on the beam position, but actually a temperature readout. So as you would change the temperature by holding your hand here, it would move the ball in and out. And the last was the distance sensor here, which I had a lot of stability issues. So here's one. I was experimenting with different pull-up resistors and so on, and just having a lot of issues. So I will go ahead and power this on, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so 5 volts, half an amp. I can actually plug the motor in, and we should be able to see 1.4 amps here at 5 volts. And so this is actually currently, it's positioning the beam based on analog read of this first sensor here. So this was supposed to be P, I, and D, so a PID loop. And I can actually go in here and change the position here, and we'll see it lift up. And that was the idea here. So I will go ahead and kind of walk through some of the other components of this. Alright, so I will unplug the motor and hold this, and you will see this lower number here goes from 0 to 1, and that's based on the photo interrupter here. And then the upper number is actually based on the microphone input. So what I can do is I can take something like this, which was the original one I tested with, and I'll plug that one in here. Okay. We should look very carefully at that top number right there. It goes from 0 to 1. I'll actually just reboot this really quick so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. And read from SD fail, we'll talk about that. So that 0 at the top, let's see that very briefly turn to 1. This was the first microphone I tested, and this actually was giving me issues during testing. But fortunately, what I was able to do is find this phone where I used to work. They threw it out, and I was able to solder some wires to it. So this is the original microphone right here. And so I can plug this in. So we go here and here. And then you can see that change the top number again to a 1 when I clap my hands. So I can pull that out, and it also turns out that a speaker does nearly the same thing as a microphone. And so I can just plug that one in right here and get basically the same results. So again, that top number right there. Alright, so if I take that off, and then of course doing this now does nothing. So that's how that is set up to work. The last component was the SD card, which I've got right here. I had a lot of issues with stability, just in general, with a lot of things with the Maker. So if I hit reset on this, you'll see the screen boot up. It'll say ball on a beam, reading from SD, SD failed, okay, and then it uses default values. So that's how it comes up. All right, so what I can do is take this card, I'll hit the reset pin and plug this card in. Okay, and it's gonna go ahead and read from that, but you'll see it lock up. Ball on a beam, reading from SD. So home on 6, mic on 5, and we get to this screen here and nothing happened. And there was really not a lot I could do with getting this going that would cure that. So that's kind of where I ended up getting stuck. But it is, in fact, able to read from the card. So if I pull it out, it goes back to default values, and the system is able to run. So that's what I've got for ball on a beam.